You've been there, right? Your mind is just buzzing with all these great, scattered ideas, but you have absolutely no clue how to connect them. What if there was a simple way to find the hidden story inside all that chaos? Well, today we're going to learn how to unlock the narrative that's buried in your thoughts. Let's dive in.
Oh, that feeling. It's that paralyzing stare down with a blinking cursor on a totally blank page. Your mind feels like a whirlwind of disconnected thoughts. You've got these sparks, these little fragments of something amazing, but they feel like 1,000 puzzle pieces from a dozen different boxes. It's a total creative dead end, and honestly, it can stop a masterpiece before it even gets started.
And that's the big question, isn't it? How do you build a bridge from that jumble of thoughts to a story that actually flows? A story that has a real pulse? Well, what if I told you there's a simple, even playful, technique that can turn that chaos into a compelling story? A method inspired by how one of the greatest minds in history thought about creativity. So the answer isn't some rigid, super complicated formula. Nope. It's an approach called the core mindset, and it's designed to feel less like work and way more like a fascinating game you get to play with your own imagination. It's all about making the act of creating feel intuitive and fun again. The key here is to completely reframe the whole process. Think of it as what Albert Einstein called combinatory play, which is really just the joyful act of taking different things and, just seeing how they connect in new and surprising ways. This isn't about forcing an idea. It's about taking the pressure off and just letting your brain's natural curiosity take the wheel.
Okay, so how do we actually start playing this game? Well, the very first step is to break down your big, abstract thoughts into the smallest possible pieces. We need to create simple, concrete, totally manageable building blocks for our story. Seriously, think of your ideas just like Lego blocks. A single tiny brick doesn't seem like much on its own, but once you have a whole handful of them, you can start snapping them together to build anything you can imagine. A spaceship, a castle, a whole city. And guess what? Our ideas work the exact same way. So what are these Lego blocks of ours? They're super simple sentences called SVOs. And don't worry, it's not a grammar lesson. It just means subject, verb, object. Who does what? That's it. It's a way to boil down a really complex thought into its most powerful, active form. So instead of a long, winding thought about social media, you get right to the point. Technology distracts minds. Simple, clear, powerful. And the best part is, you don't have to wait around for some magical inspiration to strike. There's a really simple, methodical way to create these core ideas. You just start with a broad topic, brainstorm a bunch of nouns and verbs related to it, and then you just start combining them. It's a super reliable way to create a big pile of raw material to play with.
Let's make this real. Okay, imagine you're thinking about the modern world. You list some nouns, things like technology, perspectives, mind. Then you list some verbs, like distract, bend, change. Now for the fun part, you just play with them. Technology distracts minds. Light bends perspectives. Just like that, you're creating those powerful little building blocks. Okay, so you've got your pile of Legos, your SVOs. Now what? Well, you need a blueprint, right? A simple structure to arrange all those pieces into something that actually feels like a story. Because at the end of the day, our brains are just fundamentally wired to understand the world through stories. And you're not going to believe how simple this blueprint is. It all comes down to just 3 powerful little words. And, but, so. This is like the primal DNA of a story. It's the backbone of almost every narrative you've ever loved, from ancient myths to the biggest Hollywood blockbusters.
All right, let's start building. First up is and. This is your setup. It's the status quo. It connects 2 ideas to establish the world of our story. So for instance, time reveals beauty and skills surpass theories. See? We're setting the stage, laying down the initial truths that are about to be tested.
Then comes the but. Now, this is the engine of the story. It's the pivot point, the moment everything changes. But introduces conflict, a challenge, a twist that just shatters the world you just set up. So we had our setup, but technology distracts minds. And suddenly, boom, there's tension. We have a problem that needs to be solved. And that brings us to so. This is the resolution. This is where the story finds its meaning. It answers the question, okay, so what happened because of that conflict? It's the consequence, the change, the new reality. In our little example, so innocence possesses strength. This is our takeaway, the powerful conclusion to the mini story we've just built.
Now here's a really important thing to remember. This and, but, so structure, it isn't a cage, it's a map. It gives you a clear path forward, a direction for your story to go, but it still leaves you all the freedom in the world to explore the scenery and discover all the cool details along the way.
Okay, time for the really fun part. Let's see how this all comes together. Let's watch these abstract little building blocks and this simple formula magically transform into an actual breathing story. We're going to build a narrative around a character named Anna using the exact SVOs we've been playing with.
Remember our "and" statement? Time reveals beauty and skills surpass theories. Well, here's how that becomes a story. We meet Anna. For her, school is just this gray world of theory. Her hands are always covered in clay or engine grease, not ink. She finds her passion, her truth, not in textbooks but in the craft of actually making things. And just like that, our story has begun.
And here it comes, the but. Our conflict SVO was, but technology distracts minds. Anna's raw talent is undeniable. She just soars. But then a single photo of her at a protest, face fierce, hopeful, goes viral. The digital world turns on her. The backlash is a tsunami of anonymous rage, and it forces her to run, to abandon everything she's built. Finally, the SO. Our resolution, SO innocence possesses strength. After that crisis, Anna doesn't break. She resurfaces in a dusty workshop that smells like sawdust and turpentine, 1,000 miles from her old life. And there, with a new name, she rediscovers her purpose, not just in making things, but in teaching a whole new generation of makers. Her core strength, her passion, it becomes her salvation. And there you have it, from 4 simple sentences to a full, powerful story. And that, right there, is the core mindset. It's not magic, it's a process. A simple, repeatable, and really powerful way to listen to your own ideas and find the incredible story that's already hidden inside them. It's a tool you can use anytime you feel stuck.
Look, if you take just one thing away from this, let it be this. Those simple sentences, the SVOs, and the and, but, so formula, they provide the skeleton, the essential structure that holds it all together. But it's your voice, your experience, your imagination that breathes life into that structure and turns it into a story that really truly connects with people.
So the next time you face that empty page, don't try to write a perfect story. Just start playing. Find your Legos, listen for the and, but, so, and ask yourself, what story is just waiting in there for you to find it? Now go play. I can't wait to see what you'll discover. Thanks for tuning in.